Hey everybody, thanks for popping in. I don't know why my camera is being a little weird this evening. It keeps changing its thing. Maybe I broke it. I don't know. Try moving it a little further away. Yeah, it's been really busy this week, so just trying to have a little fun today. I was at the Silver Lake Regional Middle School the other day. I kind of want to draw something a little bit more, less posed, a little more fun. Yeah, I've been so busy. I had no idea what I was drawing tonight until about 20 minutes ago. I held up two sketch covers to my wife, and one of them was X-Men and the other one was Conan. And she knows I like Conan. And it doesn't have to be quite as serious, I guess. I ended up drawing on a whiteboard for the first time since I graduated from college, I think. We'll just get started. We'll chunk out some shapes and we'll see how badly we can ruin this cover. I read this issue. My favorite story was the one that Christopher Priest wrote. Right here. This one was really good. It was kind of a continuation of his earlier work. He was the writer on Conan for some time. Of course, I'm out of lead. It's that kind of a day. I guess we have to just not use blue lead. Okay, why not? Okay. Hey Tim, how's it going? Just gonna rough in. Just trying to get my basic shapes in at this point, and kind of the gesture and the angle. I'm kind of thinking it's Conan after he's just he's tired after he's just killed a bunch of fighter warrior types. I'm going to say that the horizon line is about here. I have the plane that he's standing on, his vanishing point over here. This leg forward a little bit. All right. Well, it's starting to look like a thing, I guess. And it's unfortunate I can't really talk too much about what I'm working on at this point. Things are when things aren't announced yet, I'm not allowed to talk about anything. And even for conventions and books and projects and stuff, like everything is all like in stages where I can't talk about them. So um, I can pretty much talk about, speaking at the middle school, which was cool. Hey Jay, how you doing, man? You have a better day today? Let's draw Conan in the wintertime. Hey Ray, what is up? What is up is lots of work and stuff. This issue was okay, Jay. I mean, it was an anthology, so like, there were some stories I liked and some stories I didn't like. There was a really good Christopher Priest story in it. If you liked his era of Conan, which I think you did, I think you liked that stuff. I'm reaching that point where it's like, dude needs like a month off. Phone acting up? That I don't know. What is the audio messed up again? I think I've got the thing on right. Yeah. Just trying to have a little fun. Trying to relax, have a little fun. I'm trying really hard to do these streams every week. Uh, sometimes I work on stuff that I can give away or stuff that'll be published, but then there's sometimes where I'm just like dead tired. And tonight is one of those nights. But try to draw something fun. It was either this or I finished the 4-panel comic I started in the history class at the middle school that I was talking at. Sorry, I forgot to close Photoshop. I'm just going to close that real quick. There we go. It usually speeds up my computer a little bit. I've got an old computer at this point, but still gets the job done. I'll have to buy a new one, I'm sure, in the not too distant future. That's where this is. That's where this connects. Trying not to overthink this, but it's hard for me not to try to do too much on a Conan cover. Get my eraser going. Because of course my blue pencil lead ran out because I didn't have time to check everything. Yeah, the one thing that I did notice, and I posted about it, was I did ask everyone that I spoke to yesterday if they'd ever read a comic book or if they'd ever read manga, and it was a very low number, and a lot of them just had never seen a comic book. But once I brought some to show people and pass around, and but once they got one in their hands, they seemed to enjoy them. All this talk that it's impossible for people who spend all their time on phones and such to enjoy a good old fashioned comic book. Like it can't keep up or whatever. But I don't know. They seemed interested. I can't imagine they were just being polite. I don't know how everybody's doing today, Jay. I think there's only a few people here tonight. I don't know. I guess the streams haven't been as exciting. I haven't been giving away stuff, so. But I did start doing the time lapses, so maybe people will watch those. They don't have to invest, in hanging out for an hour or whatever. Since I don't have blue pencil, what I'm doing right now is just actually lightening the regular pencil that's there so that it's not quite as prominent, so that I can go back in and, as though it were a preliminary pencil, I can go in and start to build more detail on top of it, because I established where my shapes were that I needed to get in there. So I've gotten like 4 messages today of like, "Hey, you have time to call." I'm sorry, I don't. My folks are coming to visit this week, so that'll be nice. Sorry, I don't have any like long speeches or lessons today. The most fascinating thing, that I've done lately was talking to those folks down at the school, and they have some really good teachers down there. Um, really dedicated folks, always looking for to adding to the curriculum with different stuff. Starting to, man. Yeah, it's I've been drawing digitally all week on my free time, so it's been graphic design and a lot of digital painting lately. So we'll see if I can get this thing to work. Also, I had to draw like super fast in those classes, so I was like drawing really simplified, like really like basically like smiley faces with you know stuff, and but it worked. The kids all were participating, and they were paying attention, and they drew along, which was cool. Like I was doing basic tutorials on like just drawing with shapes rather than worrying about like the big details. And that's trying to heed my own advice with this. Keep it simple. It's been a while since I've drawn Conan. Like, drawing Helena and drawing Conan are very different uh, exercises. I don't usually say I like a piece that I did because I always look at like the stuff that I want to fix. But that Helena piece I did with her fighting the monster in the cave, I thought was a nice, moodier piece. Um, and I like that. It has its issues, but I thought that overall as a scene, um, it had things going for it, which is not something I readily admit about my own work. I was actually looking at those Alan Davis issues of Conan that he did for Marvel. And for some reason, Mark Farmer didn't do the inks on it. They had someone else inking it, so it looked a little different. Um, but I actually thought they were, we finally, in 50 years of him making comics, got a Alan Davis Conan comic, which is awesome. But they didn't let him do any of the covers, or he didn't have time. Like I don't know which is the case, but I would imagine with Alan Davis, if he wanted to do the covers, they would just be like, "Yeah, of course." He was probably drawing like 3 books that month or something. I'm going to put our light source here, actually. We're going to have like maybe some spears and the classic like hand coming out of the ground. Just building it as we go. I really didn't plan this out as a fancy composition or anything. So like I probably wouldn't at this point classify it as any sort of like cover idea. It's very much just a sketch. Normally at lunch I have time to do like a little thumbnail, but I've been really busy lately. We've got some big stuff going on with the altered reality folks. Big new things that I've been working hard on, and hopefully they'll get announced soon. That's as much as I'm probably legally allowed to say about it. Am I watching any good TV? Not really. I just haven't had time. Unfortunately, I watched the Celtics lose the other day. That was unfortunate. The one good thing about them playing so late is that it's after I'm done working, so I can actually like watch a chunk of the game, which that's nice. I've been getting back into doing like timed exercises lately, just because I'm trying to increase my speed and detail, and it's hard. It's really, really hard for me because I have certain like benchmarks that my brain requires, and it's like, no, it can't be done until you do this. What are you working on, Jay? You drawing right now? You're usually drawing around this time. Well, if you ever have a Wednesday night where you're around and your computer's rocking and rolling and I can get it to work, we should do a sketch together, a sketch show. Yeah, I run about 6 miles every other day. I had to skip today because I just had too much work, which is always a bummer because it helps me clear my brain. All the stupid things I tell myself. No worries. No, I was just asking what you were working on. Hello. Oh, nice. Cool. Just wondering if you were playing around with that thing yet. Doug, it's one of those things where it's like some people can do laundry and like not like shut off their brain and just focus. Like everybody has like that thing where they can finally like, you know, quiet their brain a little bit for, 20 minutes. But and for me lately it's been running again. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Once you get the hang of it, it's going to save you a ton of time, man. I'm serious. Just even just with flats, if you just used it for your flats, it'll save you a bunch of time. So I was excited to also see those oil paintings you were doing. Oil painted pages. You're crazy. You're a crazy man, Jay Kennedy. I literally just got him the little bamboo stylus and pad. It's not fancy technology. And it was like under $100. Um, I know they're expensive, Doug, but I think that you should wait until you should save up until you can get one with the screen on it. The one I got for Jay is literally just the tablet, and you don't draw, like the screen isn't on there. I actually think, Doug, with the amount of like clean line that you do, while I applaud that you do it with your own two hands and ink and paper, like I think that digital would save you lots of frustrations once you got through the learning curve. Yeah, I mean, I got that for my buddy. It's great. Those are great for just laying flats, like for doing basic coloring stuff and like some photo editing, and you can do some like, some surgery to, like physical artwork. Like after you scan it, you can do some stuff with it that you can't do without it. Um, yeah, I was kind of doing like some funky rock formations. I'm trying to use them to sort of like bring the composition together and keep these parallels. If you draw the parallel line through, you should actually have it up here, but then you have the title. Then there's some smoke. Yeah, these are like rock formations. If I were coloring this, I would probably just use like a really light, flat color, like an orange or something in the background. But it's a sketch cover, so I'm not gonna go. I don't think I'm gonna go. I don't think I'm gonna go too far down that rabbit hole. But there's gonna be more ink on this, just because I've been doing painting lately, so I'm thinking about shape more instead of line. So we'll see how it comes out. There it is. Need a small. There's an extra small. There's a small. There you go. Yeah, that'll be fun. A jungle story. Is it a Voodoo Joe story? Or is it a different book? Is it not Arsenic Lullaby? Oh, sweet. New character. That's exciting. I'm always amazed that one tiny little like amount of eyebrow one way or another can make such a difference on an expression. Just even just a tiny little bit, like a few hairs over, and the expression is just like totally changed to me. It's got a brief scene with a Kong sacrifice temple in it. Just a jungle type thing. So just plants and rocks. That'll be a relaxing background as opposed to like that circuit board that you were doing the inside of a computer. Yeah, that was um, ambitious. That was ambitious. Seriously, like it's maddening sometimes. Then you got to get the tiniest brush of white out to try to fix it. I'm going to try to leave some open space between some of the lines facing the light source. That's something I've been trying to work on lately. Not having all the lines closed. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've been practicing with a brush for some time now. I watched Bob Hall, the artist on like Squadron Supreme and Shadow Man and Emperor Doom and Avengers and tons of other stuff. Literally just pick up my brush pen and in like 10 seconds drew like a perfect version of his character Shadow Man in like 10 seconds. It was incredible to watch. I read hieroglyphically. Also, my own theory: a raised left eye is a different thing than a raised right eye. I agree. I agree. I think it reads different. Um, That's a good point. I didn't know that. I would believe that completely. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Especially since we spend so much time trying to draw like specific emotions, and when maybe we can't necessarily explain why it looks wrong in a certain piece, just that it does. Like you said, it's something subconscious that we're aware of but not aware of, kind of thing. Gotta let that part dry a little bit. Hey, Jonathan. Yeah, no worries, man. I'm just trying to wind down a little bit. It's been a very busy week so far. I had to get up real early to go talk at that school yesterday, and I don't know. It was my week was less busy when I was asked to do it. Had some stuff pop up on me a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is one of the sketch covers that I bought. I don't think this was one of yours. Because I remember buying two of them. I went to a store and they had two on the shelf. So unless you gave me another one. Yeah, it was the magic eight ball flipping over at the last second this week. And then you have the glorious of like the mail shows up every day when there's bills in it. But if there's, a paycheck in it. There's no mail to be found. What do you mean there's no mail today? You never miss delivering my bills. Yeah, I think that's right. I think there was a red Sonya in there. It was the only one that was from the book I actually did the cover for. I hadn't seen. I've been looking for those and hadn't found any of them. But don't worry, I'll smudge and get some dried blood-looking stains on him, and he'll look all beat up just like me. Seriously, like every time there's like when it's a check, no mail. When it's a bill, oh, the mail's there early. It's not just there; it's there early. Of course, when we were kids, like nothing bad came in the mail. We loved the mail because it would be like a card from a family member or a comic book or something that we were looking forward to getting. It was never bills. Now it's just bills. I think that's what that sustains the USPS. Amazon and bills and Kickstarters. Kickstarters, absolutely, yes. Trying to keep the light source consistent over here. It's a little off up in here. I'll try to pull it together, at the end. I might have to use some bleed proof white to pull it back. Everything good on your end, though, Jonathan? Everything, everything good? Puppy doing good? My wife keeps telling me if she's walking, she sees a young corgi, and like if Jonathan got a corgi, you'd have to go to his house. See, and this is one of those maddening things when it comes to drawing with a brush pen. By the time you get loose and you get some good feathering, like look at that. See the nice varied line sizes in there? That's the exact texture I was going for. Can't get it to work on the first go, but we got some decent texture right there. I like mutts. They are generally nice animals. Yeah, it's nice to see family though. So, good day to be outside if you're able to. I did not get outside at all. Oh, good. Glad the puppy's okay. Anytime you got to take the pets in for surgery, it's always nerve-wracking. We'll let it dry for a second and get a little erasing going. Not sure I'm going to handle my midtones on this. I really didn't think this thing through. Maybe I will cross-hatch it. I don't know. That would make for an interesting time lapse. Just tiny little lines, just pew. Oh, thanks. See if I have the chutzpah to leave no midtones. Yeah, maybe you're right, because I am going to add some smudging to it for the like dried blood and such. So yeah, let's just see how it goes. One thing at a time. Rocketeer blank. Wow. Following Dave Stevens. That's a wee bit intimidating there. I still got to draw your Shazam one for you. I feel like I gotta cut it along the jawline. I don't know. You can always white it out. C2E2 or Cincinnati. As of right now, I'm not. I'm kind of having to hold off for a couple of reasons for booking stuff, but hopefully I'll find out next week when I can start booking things. It's been a rodeo, shall we say. I would like to do C2E2. That's on my list. I've never done it. I did the old Chicago Comic Con and the Wizard World back in the day. Thanks, Doug. That's real. It's nice of you. I like the Rocketeer comics. There's actually some I've never read. The ones that are, I guess, Art Adams like penciled and Dave Stevens inked some at some point that like Dark Horse put out. I never bought the omnibus. I only have the ones that Pacific put out that Stevens did, and then I think Eclipse did one. Maybe it was Kamiko, but I don't have any of the ones that I guess Art Adams worked on. I had no idea. My pal Nate did C2E2, and he said it was good. I haven't done the newer Cincy one. When I lived in Ohio, I did the old Cincinnati comic show that was down there. It wasn't very big. I'm going back for Gem City up in July. I have that one booked. It was booked a while ago. I still got to buy my plane ticket, but that's not a big deal. And Plastic City is a little one out in Western Massachusetts that nice guy named Keith runs, and he was kind enough to give me a spot. So anytime someone will give me a spot within driving distance, I'm usually pretty happy to be there. Yeah, back when I lived in Ohio, in high school and stuff, I did all the shows out there. Like I did Pittsburgh, Akron, Mid Ohio Con was great. Um, we went up to Chicago. But I've heard great stuff about the newer Cincinnati show. I have plans to do Baltimore in the fall. I was supposed to do Heroes this year, but it didn't work out again. Still never done Heroes. Hey there, Michael. I'm doing okay. How are you today? Just trying to up the contrast as much as I can on this. If we're not gonna do midtones, then we gotta not be stingy on the spotting of the blacks here. The black ink. Gotta find a ruler here. Oh, there's one. If I can get to it. I got it. There it is. Just making sure that my sword is mostly straight. How do I feel about Marvel losing Conan? See, this is a tough one because, and I've said this many times, they have some extraordinarily talented people working on the books. Mahmoud Asrar, I met a long time ago through digital webbing. Um, Ron Garney did a tremendous stint on Savage Sword, but by and large, it hasn't been my favorite Conan. You know, I tried reading Savage Avengers, the ones where Conan showed up. I read the first, I think, I read the first arc, and then the beginning of the second arc. And the beginning of the second arc just didn't grab me at all. So, um, but what it does mean is that, you know, there's once again a possibility again, um, that an independent like myself might get an opportunity to draw the character. Because at Marvel, I just don't think there was ever going to be an opportunity for me to draw the character. And, you know, I got to draw Red Sonja, obviously an R.E. Howard character, a bucket list thing for me, um, because she was at Dynamite. And, you know, Marvel and Dynamite occasionally do crossovers, but if Conan ends up at some place, you know, that wants to push their stuff and, you know, is willing to play nice with the crossovers, you know, if there's a Red Sonja Conan crossover, hell, I'll buy my own print run to do a cover for that book, and I'm not kidding. The Savage Sword Conan magazine is what got me fully hooked in the comics of Conan. Um, I read the paperback books that my father gave to me after seeing the movie when I was definitely too young to see it. Um, and the Savage Sword, if I was trying to get someone to give it an honest try, that's the book I would hand them. Because in my opinion, you actually got the better Barry Windsor Smith artwork in his few bits that were in Savage Sword. You know, that's blasphemy. Red Nails is the greatest thing ever, blah, blah, blah. But I prefer Barry's period that was closer to like around Weapon X. I thought his figure work was more solid by that point. He'd had so many more drawing hours under his belt. They are the truth of the matter is they are public domain in Europe at this moment. It's still a few years away before it's public domain in the States. Different laws. That's why Ablaze is a foreign publisher and they're able to do that stuff under the Sumerian. And look, if I get to live to be old enough to when it's public domain, you can bet your you know bottom dollar that I will do that because I did public domain superhero book when I was in college, or just after, called Dime Box Comics. My buddy Jay and I did it together, and we just picked some of the most ridiculous golden age superheroes that we could find and made new stories for them. These can't be solid black. So I think we're going to have to do some sort of hatching on those to push them back some. I think I'm going to leave out this other guy. It's a little too much for one night. I want to try to finish this in one night so that we can get a complete complete drawing. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This has been really nice. I wasn't sure I was going to stream tonight or get through the stream, but you guys have definitely helped pull me through. So thank you. Light source. Use your brain again. Yeah, just big enough to not fit into your short box of comics. That was our mistake. That was our youthful ignorance. I actually heard Eric Larson talk about it because he did a similar book called The Next Issue Project that Jay and I loved, and they were done magazine size, golden age size, and um, Eric said that retailers wouldn't order it because it didn't fit in their like spinner racks or whatever. Like it wasn't comic book size, so that's why they didn't order copies of it. Hey, look, it's Nikki Graves. How's it going? Hope you're well. Hope the family's doing well. Oh man, the Brewers having a bad stretch. Like, is it Red Sox bad or is it like normal struggles of June, July team bad that, they'll figure it out because they have good pitching bad? Let's do a little more erasing. Sorry if my eraser squeak is bothering people. You know what? We're just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going along. How's the next issue of Helena coming along? It's coming along pretty well. I got another page inked the other day, and it's slow, but I'm going to be really proud of it when it's done. So, I think that's more important these days than having it done quickly for a person like me who's really just trying to make a quality book. And by the time it goes to trade and it's on Kickstarter for the trade, nobody will know how long it took. They'll just know that it's as good as I could make it. Um, that's and that's where I want to be. I was talking to the writer best known for Green Lantern, Ron Mars, at one point, and I was basically just telling him, like, look, I just want a bunch of books on my table that I'm really proud of. And I say on my table because I'm sure, at like 70, I'll still be dragging my stuff to comic conventions. But I'm hoping I'm like the happy old guy at the show. That's what I'm hoping. Maybe that's too optimistic. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry it's slow. I just, when you're doing the whole thing and trying to keep the bills paid. I wish Helena paid the bills. I did get more copies, and I will be making them available on my website. That'll be happening at some point soon. So, I think I'm pretty. Yeah, you have the first issue, but people who haven't seen me at a show will be able to order the first issue for the first time, and that's exciting. That'll be more trips to the post office. Although the people at the post office don't mind when I'm bringing like comic books and stuff. They actually enjoy talking about them. So it's it's nice. At least the folks at my post office, they're just happy it's not a whole bunch of returns to Amazon, I think. And I always buy postage stamps there, and I almost always end up buying tape or something. Just because it's convenient. I know it's cheaper online, but it's convenient, and you know, support the post office. I'm definitely going to paint in a little bit with some bleed proof white. See where that gets me. 9:34 already. There we go. That was driving me nuts. I was like, what? Why doesn't this look right? Hey, Jonathan. Have a good night, man. Thanks for hanging out. Glad to hear the puppy's doing okay after surgery. I've seen the art in the new Death Healer comic, not on the inside. I've seen only the covers. I actually was looking at the store, looking for one at the store the other day, and I couldn't find one. I guess they sold out, which is good. Good for Sarah and the Frazetta girls. I actually asked them a number of years ago about doing a Death Dealer comic book. Um, and they obviously said they had plans to do something with it, but at the time they weren't. And Glenn Danzig did some with Verotic, and I think Bisley did the artwork. Um, is it good? Is the inside good? I don't even know who drew it. My buddy Chris got to do a cover. That was very cool. He's a huge, gigantic Frazetta fan, so I was really happy for him. I was actually surprised that Sarah didn't try to draw it herself. She's been dabbling in doing comic stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I hadn't seen the inside of it yet. I didn't really look around for preview pages or anything. I guess I could have done that. That was a good suggestion, Douglas. Not going for the like any sort of mid tone. Just going with like pure texture and form. One of those little tricks I like to point out to people is if you do these little brush tip marks on your lines, is to point them at your light source. That's a little thing that they don't always tell you. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that anime show poster I did, but it was very Hokusai influenced. And that's kind of, I guess, where I got these background shape ideas. Just he just had these cool negative shapes that would direct the eye. And I wanted these to curl in. Hey Desiree, thanks for popping in tonight. Hope all is well on your end of the internet. Hey, in your neck of the woods, that's a big win. Haven't put our ACs in the window yet. It's getting close. It's getting close to that uncomfortable feeling. I think I'm actually going to white that part out. It's getting probably too busy. I'll leave some white space in there somewhere. Before I go in and put the bleed proof white in here, I want to just flatten out some of these black areas of ink. Hey, awesome. Enjoy the show, Desiree. Thanks for saying hi. I did hear that they were going to do another Conan movie, but for a little while they talked about doing another one with Arnold as like his kind of like Unforgiven, the old man Conan, King Conan kind of thing. But I also heard that they didn't do that because they were gonna reboot the thing again. I feel like the rocks need a little bit of texture, but I think I'm just gonna use the old fingerprint technique for that spattery stuff I was telling you about. See if I can find a piece of plastic. There we go. Always a bag and board handy. Do need a little spatter from the smoke, so I got a nice small brush. see if we can get our white paint to work. I just use this bleed proof white stuff. It's not the best, but it works. Shit. That's what happens when you get too much stuff on your brush. It's okay. I let that dry and I can fill it in. That's what happened. There's like a tiny little piece of coagulated paint on there. See, I just wanted a couple lines here that kind of directed the eye back to the face. Let that dry, and I've got to take a few of those lines out. See, I really didn't need that much white. I just wanted a few little lines, and that was it. But I'll take some of them out. I know it doesn't look like much, but these little tiny marks make all the difference with framing. I think we have to get rid of that. No, I know I put it in there. It just didn't look right. A little bit less. All right, well, I think that probably wraps it up for the evening. Let's zoom out a little bit with our high-tech zoom, which is the old hand crank tripod. And I'm not going to sign it very big. I got a nice little spot right here on this rock. Well, there we go. Thanks very much, Michael. Thanks everybody for coming to hang out. Yeah, those little hairs, I still don't think I have them quite right. I'm going to look at it again tomorrow. You might see the final one with a few tweaks to it, but this was fun. And I hope everybody has a swell evening. And, I hope to see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Good night.